I'm Rachel Kammeyer, and I'm going to be talking today about the perfect introduction, or what we sometimes call the elevator pitch, when you only have 30 seconds to introduce yourself to a potential client, employer, investor, and you want to get as much information as possible in the shortest amount of time. So, it sounds like a challenge, but it's actually really basic if you follow this formula. Your name, your job title, some really strong action words, and then your organization or your target clients, depending on what you're going for. So the first thing we want to do is make sure we have a really well translated description of our job. Sometimes the translation can get lost. For example, a network administrator isn't exactly the same as a system administrator. One works with server side and one works more with the desktop. More importantly, there can be a really big pay difference between these two. So you want to make sure your translated version of your job is the most accurate for the market you're looking for. Sometimes our job title is actually an action word in itself. For example, I'm Rachel, and I'm a freelance English teacher. Other jobs, like software developer, or consultant developer, have an action word built into the description, but sometimes they don't. Maybe you are a manager or a team leader. In that case, you want to have your job title. So, for example, maybe you're an event planner. Now you want to put in your strong action word. Maybe you are a coordinator. You coordinate, or you manage, or you design, or in my case, I teach. But I'm going to go ahead and use a phrase like background. This is the experience that I have using strong verbs. So I'm going to say I have a background in linguistics, or a background in accent modification. What's the most important thing is to make sure that your job and your action words aren't repetitive. You're not saying, I'm a manager who manages. In that case, you want to be a manager who coordinates or leads. Now we want to maybe add in some other descriptive words. Words like design. What do you design? Maybe we can add a word like digital. Digital content. Who do you manage? Do you manage a team? What kind of team? Maybe it's international. And I've abbreviated international INT''L because I'm running out of space. So maybe I coordinate events. Well, I've already said event planner. So maybe I coordinate caterers and venues. Here the vocabulary is what matters. You want to make sure you have a spot-on description of who your audience is and what people need to know about you. Finally, we're going to talk about the organization we're currently with or our target clients. You can be very specific. For example, Allianz. It's a well-known company. Or if you don't want to say who you're working for, you can use a phrase like an international insurance and asset management company. I would call that descriptive vague, where you're giving some information, but you're not giving away the name. So maybe the software developer works for Allianz, but the person who is working in design doesn't want to say who they necessarily work for. They want to talk about who they want to work for. In that case, you're going to mention who your target clients might be. I'm looking for someone to work for who is interested in innovative solutions. Now, the person I'm talking to knows maybe I want to work with a startup. Sometimes you don't have an employer, like me. I'm freelance. So I'm going to talk about who I want to work with. I want to teach business English. So I'm going to make sure I say with who works for business professionals. And I'm running out of space. So what I've done here is make sure that I have a string of really interesting words, but now we have to put them together. This is where we're going to use a little bit of grammar. We're going to take our name and our job title. We're going to add a little bit of a relative clause. Or, in this case, we may also use the action word and then describe who we want to work with. A different relative clause in a different place. So let's put it all together. My name is Rachel Kammeier. Hi, I'm Rachel Kammeier, and I am a freelance English teacher with a background in linguistics and accent modification, and I work with business professionals. That only took about 15 seconds, but now you know a lot about me, and I haven't handed you my CV or my resume. Let's try another one. Let's say that this is our friend Christina. Christina might say, hi, I'm Christina. I'm an event planner, and I coordinate caterers and venues for a very large international food company. So she was descriptive. We know a lot about her, but we don't necessarily know who she's working for, or potentially who she doesn't want to work for. So that's how you give a 30-second elevator pitch. You put your name, your job title, good verbs, good nouns, lots of detail, and you tie it all together with words like with and who. Good luck. Now you have a foot in the door.
Hi everyone. If you want to see more video tips like this, just click on these videos here. Go on, do it now.